what was happening? Is it just the three of us?
Have I been at a press conference with all black people before?
It was supposed to be you and Yamar.
You and Yamar.
Well, where's Yamar?
I can get up. Yamar was in the hallway.
Yeah, y'all are here now.
No, Yamar
was in the hallway.
It'd be nice to have
All of you are welcome to stay.
What is happening? Oh, we met him earlier.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
past.
Yeah, he was there too. He was there too.
We're gonna go ahead and get started.
Where's
y'all.
Carl? Did Carl?
I think she might have exited stage left, but if she comes in, we'll let her come in.
All right.
But thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Everyone is very excited to speak with you all. We're gonna do this kind of like what we do for most of our press conferences. I'll pass the mic around. You guys get one question. If you have some time left over, we'll pass it around again. All right? All right. I'm starting.
Let's shake it, man.
What? Now we're doing this?
Yeah,
What's
I didn't know we
happening?
were doing this. I didn't know this was happening.
You really don't understand. We had zero idea that there was a press. We didn't know anybody was. We had no idea, and we were up there doing something else, and they were like, "Yeah, the press conference." Like, what are you talking about?
Yes. We
So-
had no idea.
Get ready for the best press conference of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Talking about Puffy?
Yeah, we talking about
Yeah, we're
Puffy.
taking all the Diddy questions
Yamara.
first. Let's do.
Yamara, come up here.
Hi, Yamara. Come on in. Yeah, help us.
You and Gary.
Yeah, we already told him.
Gary and so-
Yamara, you want to start the first Diddy question?
Yeah, it's Puffy.
You want
I haven't been invited to any parties
to? Okay.
at all. Like just in
I
general.
went to a gray party. They didn't let me come to the white party.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No pee in that.
The dingy part.
No.
There was no pee.
All right. How do we do this? What happens?
What's going on?
Yeah,
Who
what
has a
happened?
question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pass the mic around. Everyone's gonna get one question with you guys. If
Okay.
you have extra time, we'll pass it around again. But so many people are here and eager to see you, so I don't think we're gonna.
Great.
All right.
Do it like Trump. Like a question.
This is like the White House.
Kind of with more black people. Yeah. I'm gonna answer questions like Trump. Just get mad. Kick people.
Good afternoon, y'all.
Good
What's up?
afternoon.
First off, I'd like to say happy year anniversary for the Boondocks.
Thank you.
I'm Xavier from Texas Cosplay Creations, and my question is, it seems like almost like the shows, as far as predicting the future, is very relative almost to The Simpsons. What part of the writing or production process allows you to tap into the current and future trends so well?
You want to go first, Yamara?
You know what? I do have an answer to this question.
There you go.
I think that because we were doing the strip, which was very topical, and I believe that because Aaron Magruder is very, he was just always up on everything. I think that a part of it is that we kind of got lucky with some stuff, and a part of it was just us seeing what was happening in the world and wanting to talk about it. And just kind of being on top of anything topical, we were just kind of following the news and kind of following what was happening culturally, and we had stuff to say about it. Rodney?
I think sometimes too was the subject matter. Like I remember the R. Kelly episode where one of the ideas behind it was Riley would look at it one way, Huey would look at it one way, and they both represented two polarized ideas of how the community would look at an R. Kelly situation. So if you think about it, at some point, R. Kelly was going to be, it's according to how you feel about it, that the chickens were going to come home to roost for R. Kelly, and we just happen to be on the right side of history, I think, in situations like that, but in other ones as well.
I also thought the show with the writing was, you guys did such a good job of writing evergreen topics that these topics will always be in fashion, always be in style, always be up front in the news. Racism is always going to be here. Sexism.
Racism is overdue.
Oh,
It's done.
we
No,
fixed,
it's
Why are we talking
fixed
about
it. We fixed it.
Why are we
So
here?
yeah, I think to your question, that a lot of the things that were around 2003, 6, when we first started the show, is relevant today, is because they always will be. Is it on? Is it on? Check,
your
check,
mic's
check,
on.
mic check.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm Louise Kira. I am from a podcast called What's That You. I'm very excited to see all of y'all here today. It brings me such joy, pride. My child with me is screaming. This question is for Yamara. Hi. I want to know, you say that you found out about your Korean parenting when you were 15.
I did say that.
Yes. I wanted to know what that was like for you, and has that influenced your writing since then in any shape or form?
Yeah, so my mom married a black man, had a bunch of black kids, but she was very much about, like, we're human. So when I filled out like any kind of paperwork that asked about race, she would make me write in human. And so she was like, you're a Heinz 57, you're mixed with everything. She was adopted out of the Korean War when she was 4 years old. And it wasn't until I was 15 and I was kind of like looking at my baby hair, like, ooh, look. That we just like had this conversation where she was like, well, yeah, you're mixed. And I was like, what? And it wasn't that she was keeping information from me as much as it was just not stuff we talked about. And I think because she was a single mom, and she just was so about we are all one, that it wasn't until I got on Blackish that I really started kind of digging into, not like my black side, because I was on the Boondocks, but having those arguments and stuff in the writer's room and really just kind of like exploring all parts of my culture and just kind of figuring it out. But from a writing perspective, I think that I just kind of really understood that I have the opportunity to tell a very specific, unique story.
Well, I'm confused. Wait,
Huh?
what was you? Your mama was a she? Was she? Wait, who was the? What?
My mom's Korean and my dad's
Your mom's
black.
Korean,
Yes.
and your dad's black.
Yes.
And you grew up with both of them?
No, I grew up with my mom.
Only your mom?
Yes.
So you didn't?
So, and she has no Korean heritage because she was adopted by a black family.
But she looks Korean.
She looks Korean.
But inside, she full blown Negro.
Yes.
So that, okay.
She wrote a rap called Soul to Soul.
Oh.
SEOUL.
That's what I was
To
going to ask how it was
SOUL.
spelled.
Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna ask how
Yeah, it was not, it wasn't a good rap, but it was,
creative.
it was written.
Yeah. She was influenced.
She was influenced.
But, yeah.
Yeah, she had a little afro wig, like
Yeah,
she was
it's
for
like
the
an
culture,
influence.
let me tell you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just never made the connection.
And nobody said nothing to her.
No.
They just let her run.
Nope.
And so I know your mama had told you human. I'm sorry, I'm very interested in this now. Because I didn't know, we just really started knowing each other in the last couple of days because I refused to talk to her when she worked on the Boondocks. That's a lie.
It was a thing.
It was a thing.
It was a thing.
I didn't talk to nobody.
Why won't he talk to your mom? What did I do?
She know what she did.
There you go.
That Asian.
And I will do it again.
Yeah, that was her mama coming up.
So what did you, when you were young, other than human, like what did you think?
I was black.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I was black, and so but I also wasn't in a household. It's not that she was like not pro-black. We didn't talk about
Right,
race like
gotcha,
that.
gotcha.
And so it wasn't until I was in rooms like the Boondocks where I was like, oh, we're talking about stuff, and and we're gonna dig in. It was really, really scary at first because I didn't want to be on the wrong side of the argument, and I didn't really have a point of view yet, except we are all one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a point of view.
Wow.
You've heard it.
I'm just light skinned.
Marge, TV, also from Bird's Eye View. Gary, I gotta say thank you because you did a podcast for a friend of mine about a year ago called Do You Speak Geek? And you were kind of giving Phil Lamar some grief, and I was kind of egging it on. And you kind of gave me a shout out, but it was so professionally cut. I used that for my YouTube intro now.
You owe me money.
I also gave Phil your message. He said, and I quote, unless Gary can prove he invented the black version, I owe him nothing.
Phil, here's why I said Phil Lamar owed me. But first of all, me, Phil, Cedric Yarbrough, and there's some more of us. We have been in an improv comedy group in LA now for, how many years is it?
12, 13?
Yeah, about 13 years. It's called the black version there. But years ago, I was on Star Wars, and I was Kit Fisto. But because I was also on another TV show at the same time, Boston Legal, the guys from Star Wars would not allow me to do both of them. So I had to give up the role. And then Phil took the role, ran away with it, and then he became Kit Fisto. So I hate him now. But in a loving way, that a man hates another.
To let you know, but for all of you, nobody on the screen or in this room are affiliated with anyone here, leaked the pilot for the Boondocks last year, and I'm just curious what went on or what caused the changes between the animation was different.
Oh, I never even saw this leaked pilot.
It was hiding in plain sight. It's like an old catalog site where they just keep CDs, and someone just released it. So I'm just curious what went on between what we all know and what that was. Your design was different.
Was it the Fox pilot?
It may have been the Fox one. Was it the Fox?
Could be the Fox. The Fox pilot was slightly different.
Yeah.
And that was just a presentation. That was a presentation pilot. I don't think if it's the Fox one.
Because originally the show was for
Fox was the first person that said yes.
And then
they said no.
They said no. It was it was too much for him, right?
Yeah, it was too much. Certain words.
That's funny, man. Like I never saw the thing that you saw. The pilot.
He was voiced by somebody different. I think Jasmine almost seemed like more of a love interest.
Justin Timberlake did Huey's voice.
I watched that before I think when I met with Sony for staffing. That's what I watched to get the job. And then we got in the room and he was like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Wow.
okay.
How's it going, guys? My name is Cleveland, Just Rap. Now, a lot of people across the internet will always say, if the Boondocks was out today, it would go crazy because of the amount of historical moments that's been happening throughout the last few years. From your perspective, your point of view, what moment in the last couple of years, historical moments that you guys felt like this would be comedy gold for the Boondocks?
Shannon Sharp for me.
Shannon Sharp.
I think Shannon Sharp.
Wow.
I think the three that stand out, January 6th, I always said it, January 6th, led by Ruckus would be.
Tad down.
There you go. You keep getting shot because you'd be the one to lead her. They shoot you for the hell what side you're on. And I think the Puffy trial, if R. Kelly was his attorney, that would be the three that stand out for me.
Wow.
Because R. Kelly has expertise in a lot of what Puffy's going through right now. He can represent him well.
All right, thank you.
Hello, my name is Ron Leonard. I'm with Big Bro Boy out of Dallas, Texas. Big fan of the show and so glad to be here. I did have a question for Gary and Cedric. I wanted to ask if there's a lot of creativity and a lot of content creators out here and whatnot, and so I was interested, what were your opinions on what maybe Steve Peter and Uncle Ruckus think about DreamCon and just all the beautiful black folks out there?
Let me get out the way.
I've heard several errors in your conversation already. I heard you say beautiful black folks. That is not proper. That is an impossibility. Now, I am reminded of that thing on the internet right now. It's like, one gorilla versus 100 men. I'm looking at a room full of gorillas right now, and it don't matter how many men. It's a dangerous place. I'm watching my wallet constantly. I don't know what damn dream that y'all think y'all have, but so that's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm smelling more hair grease than I ever smelled in my whole damn life. And the amount of braids that I see in here, I want to put them all in a rope and climb myself out of here like Rapunzel, getting the fuck out of here. Spank me now. I turn it over to you.
Well, is this on?
Yes.
I fucking hate everything. And I hate everything that you just said. I hate the braids. I hate the grease. I hate the lotion. I do love the sexy. Did you see the one nerd there that had the booty out?
The booty, yeah, I call it the booty nose.
That was nice. I did enjoy that, even though I am blind. How's that, motherfucker?
No, but in all honesty, like this is honestly the first true black con that I've totally done. This has been mind blowing. It's been absolutely mind blowing. Yeah.
I thought they hid the white people or somewhere. I was waiting for the white people.
Yeah. But there's one here. Luckily, there's representation. They always got to have one in there. And then
just to make sure everything running.
I questioned her over him behind the camera. Yeah. It's been incredible. Like I had no idea what to expect at all, and it's been mind blowing to me. So thank you for all the support. Like to the love for the Boondocks in general, not just the Ruckus character, which thank you for all the writing you did on that guy, Rodney. But just the love for it in general is pretty much beyond my belief, you know. So it's been magic, man.
I'm from Video Creative Podcast. So in Philly, my question to you as a group, so it's like two parts for you. So one part for you as the voice actors, and one for the part of the writers. Like the characters, coming up with them. So on the first part, writing them, how did you like come up with the concept of that? And then how did you, as the voice actors, produce those concepts? And then like come up with the way the characters actually like you animated. You know what I mean?
I can speak for Stink Meaner. We knew we wanted to do an episode where Granddad was going to get into a fight. That episode is called Granddad's Fight. And we knew we wanted him to get into a fight with an old man. And so at the time, I would write these quirky little bios about characters that would, you know, just kind of be fun little, I don't know, they would have weird names and you know, idiosyncrasies. And so I just went off and wrote a little bio about who I thought this guy would be. And in the bio, his whole shitty life was leading up to the moment where he smelled new shoes and got to step on Granddad's brand new sneakers. And he was happy. That was the only thing that ever made him happy, and before that he hated everything. And he would never be happy again with just that one moment, that one nigga moment he was excited about. And so, you know, and then life was breathed into Stink Meaner.
I just remember we were going to have a table read, and I was kind of a placeholder for someone more famous and bigger. I think they really wanted.
Was it me?
No.
Oh.
Sidney Poitier?
Either Poitier.
Okay, or
Morgan Freeman?
Morgan?
Yeah.
Good old Morgan Freeman.
Have you seen your friend Andy Dufresne yet?
Yeah. My good friend Andy Dufresne. Hope. Anyway,
Maybe so.
So they had a placeholder for someone else to do the role, but they wanted me to just read that day for it, and I saw the description and it just made me laugh. And I loved I was telling this story earlier about how I loved Schoolhouse Rock as a kid. I'm just up there, you know, this guy who just kind of had this really cool voice. You know, a jazz musician named Jack Sheldon, and you know, he that in conjunction, you know, he was just really cool with it. And I just turned mine up and made him this. And so it was birthed of that. And then at the end of the table read, they were like, we're not getting Morgan Freeman for this.
No.
We can't afford him. Two, you're here, so go ahead. Do it. So that's how that at least that character came. And then the great direction of Andre Romano, along with Carl Jones and Aaron Magruder, of course, directing what they thought they could get out of me to make him more cantankerous, more hateful, throw out some really bad lines of,
You got bad credit, Robert.
that kind of stuff. Just made him more hateful.
It's hard now. Like I grew up on Schoolhouse Rock, and just the thing that's where you got that.
That's where
boys from is just the best thing in the world.
I met him years ago, before Jack Sheldon passed away. There's a jazz club called the Baked Potato in LA, and he used to play on Friday nights. And I visited him before he passed, but he was playing, and I said,
Hey, Jack, has anyone ever done you to you before? And he said, hey, that's pretty good, kid.
So it was really nice to meet him.
For me, it was always Ruckus. I think from the beginning, channeling all the old black men in my neighborhood that hated black people, it was that energy. I think there was a period between the Fox pilot where there were all of these things that we wanted to say but couldn't because it's on Fox. And then going to Adult Swim, now you can say anything that you want. And I remember my first riff of sitting down and counting how many times you're gonna say nigga throughout and punctuating every sentence. And a little bit of pushback along the way, but it was necessary for Ruckus to be able to express himself. And I believe Ruckus has expressed himself.
The beauty, the through line and symmetry of that is I grew up in the Deep South, and my dad had these friends who would come over on Sundays and wondering why he didn't drink no more. And it was a group of friends he had, some of them who hated other black people.
Well, mine would be like, that's what Dr. King get.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been out there.
And I was always like, why, Daddy, why you even, because my daddy wasn't that, but he liked everybody. Like, why are you hanging around these dudes? But now I make money from it.
Rounding white people up.
Yeah.
That would be the thing.
Yeah. He would, like one of the guys, his name was Mr. Candy Walker, and he would be like, if you shake hands with the white man, you shall become friends. He was always driving around on a Sunday telling us how to like white people. Like, what are you doing? And that's
2 days worth of good luck if you shake a white man.
Oh yeah. You let a white man pat you on the head, it's the best damn day of your life. Like, all right.
It's like a leprechaun.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Guys, I gotta go. I have to moderate a panel.
Oh, good. Happy moderation.
Okay. They don't have me moderating about it, man.
I doing a panel.
Bye.
Bye.
You got a better education. See you later. Well, they got us working for these rooms. There's 4 seasons. We got us going. We're going to be influencers.
What's up, man?
Chad from the Fusion Hot Podcast. Gary, the last time we interviewed you, thank you for that.
Oh, of course.
You're going for that. You were saying that you didn't really understand the impact that Ruckus had on the community until you started going to the cons and really started to see.
Right. The first, I think I even mentioned the first time, I think my son was either it may have been high school, I think, and he was like, hey, Dad, everybody knows Uncle Ruckus. Like, what are you talking about? Because we hadn't done the show in forever. He's like, everybody knows him. And I had no idea. And then I went to a con, and then I was like, what's going on here? So no, I had zero idea of the Boondocks impact and Uncle Ruckus impact. I just knew it was fun, but I had no idea of that.
Yeah, because that was part of my question now is, how do you guys feel about the impact that the Boondocks has had on the culture, and how has it impacted your lives?
Y'all go first.
It's still very unbelievable to me that something we did 20 years ago is still relevant. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you got to try to make it relevant. Like I can't go on YouTube or Insta or TikTok or something without somebody doing something from one of these, because like you said earlier, it's the evergreen stuff or stuff that still has the same energy of, like in R. Kelly or a Puff, like it still has that same energy. And the writers tapped into that stuff, with some really out their characters. You know, it was a Peabody Award-winning show. Even at the time, it wasn't just a nothing show. So it had some social conscience to it then. But it's still hard for me to understand what's going on. I'm not lying to you. Like, it still is.
Yeah, and doing these cons, I was talking to Gary about this before, about doing these cons. As an actor, you are always trying to move forward and keep going and trying to find another job and keep it moving. And you guys live in a past for us that is relevant, but we did it already. And being able to visit y'all, see y'all, talk to you, and touch you, and you guys can interact with us and tell us how much it works for you is a kind of a like, oh wow, I didn't know that really affected you that way. We live in a kind of a bubble that we're still we're doing more things. We're but y'all are like, when Stevie Wonder will play a song that is kind of obscure, maybe at a concert or something, and and you want him to play the hits, play the hits. I know this song, but would you play as? That's our stuff. Like these are the hits, with Reno, with Boondocks, with our shows that you guys live in and still have memes, and it's still ongoing, and it's crazy.
And that's also a thank you for keeping that stuff alive, because it was a great part of our lives and still is. Like, I have fun literally every day of my life doing what the cartoons I'm doing right now, but that was the first big one when I moved to LA doing the Boondocks. So it was definitely a great time, and to get to see the joy that it brought other people and get to meet everybody. Most of you have been to my table. I make sure to give that love back. Like, it means everything. It means everything to me that somebody's gonna take time out of their day to come up. If you ain't buying nothing, I don't give a shit, just to talk, hang out for a second. I'm gonna open mouth kiss you. I'm gonna open mouth. Yeah. So it means a lot to be able to meet the people and to give a little back the thanks.
I think it's also great having situations like this where you can celebrate a show and you can go back. I think that's a great thing about cons. You give the definition.
By the way, cons is short for convention.
Yeah, not convention, not con. No. But it's great to be able to celebrate the past. Because as Cedric was saying, you get into this career where you're always moving forward. Something ends, you move to the next thing, move to the next thing. And then to have people come back and celebrate. And the show was only, I think, 55 episodes. It wasn't like it went on like The Simpsons, 1,000 years. But the impact that it was made, especially the first 2 seasons, I think is something that I'm most proud of. Just that period of time when everything was clicking and moving in a certain way. It was as much idealism as I think I've ever seen in the comedic process. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Hi guys, thank you for being here.
Well, you got a big voice. That voice, that's an R&B voice. You got to say something. Yeah.
Thank you. So my question to you guys, I've seen a recurring theme across the talent that I've interviewed and spoken with this DreamCon of imposter syndrome. Have you guys experienced that during your careers? Can you speak to that?
Can you break down the definition of imposter syndrome?
Yeah, absolutely. So imposter syndrome is essentially a feeling of you don't belong in a certain position or space that you're in, even if you've already made it. So for example, I can have 1 million followers and still feel like I'm not really an influencer, or I'm not really a creator. So that would be an example of imposter syndrome.
I'd say for the first decade of my career, to me, it's a massive sense of insecurity. I came from working class people in the working class world, and all of a sudden I'm sitting in writers' rooms with some of the funniest people around. And it took a long time to feel comfortable. I still don't know if I feel completely comfortable in that space. Because making things in Hollywood is so, you have to constantly pivot, you have to constantly think on your feet. And if you don't have a lot of experience in it, a lot of times, the biggest thing that I had to learn was everybody lies to you. And I didn't come from that world. The way executives talk, networks talk, you hear someone saying something to you, and you have to figure out what they're saying, what they're really saying. And I'm naive at the time. So it's easy for me to completely dismiss me and lose myself in another person. And I think that feeds the imposter syndrome, because you don't see yourself. And it took a long time to get to a place where there was enough confidence and steadiness to sort of neuter it. It comes back and forth. I don't think it ever completely goes away. But it does create a weird kind of narcissism to where you're so worried about you and being found out that you don't know what you're doing or whatever, that it buffers you to actually being able to experience, like when Gary talks about how much joy he gets from doing it and performing. You're so worried that you don't get to feel that joy. You know, for me, it was like every day somebody's gonna figure out I shouldn't be here. And just being able, after, like I said, a decade of doing it, getting more and more and more comfortable with that idea, but still not completely. Good.
Thank you. Do you guys want to speak to that as well?
I don't have that.
You're an attractive man. You're a really attractive
I'm gorgeous.
man. So that's the problem.
You
I know
belong.
it.
You
If I
belong.
look
You
like
belong.
you, I wouldn't have it either.
No, but here's the thing. As many things as you've seen me in or do, I've gotten 3 more million no's.
Yes.
And so when I get something, I know I've earned it. And I've been able to do this for a little while. So I'm like, okay, I think I actually know how this works a little bit. And yeah, damn right, I belong, because I earned this shit. Because this is hard. It's a hard life at times. It can be lonely. It can be, just living in Los Angeles sometimes is rather difficult. And to Rodney's point, a lot of people are lying to you a lot of times. So some of that is baked in the cake. But who I am and what I do, and I definitely feel like I belong. I definitely did the damn thing for sure, and I'm trying to keep it going. But I believe in myself. I've worked with some of the best people that have made me even better. Gary makes me funny. I wait for him to do something, and then I do this shit. On top of that. So I get to work with amazing people that have also earned their spot as well. No one's an imposter here. No, not one bit. We've earned our spots.
I think the biggest thing is sometimes when that's not intrinsic, and a lot of times I was the only brother in the room on other shows.
A lot of times.
And there isn't a lot of that sense of community or camaraderie that you initially feel. It may come over time, but I came from a small town. I didn't come from a town that was as structured and organized to where I could have that. I naturally had that.
Yeah.
It had to be developed over. If you do something long enough, after a while you go, wait a minute, this isn't a fluke. But in the beginning, I think it's harder. And I think it's harder oftentimes for us because I don't think it was built. The system was built necessarily to nurture you into a process. You have to come in guns blazing from the beginning. So.
I don't think I've ever really had imposter syndrome either. I'm more like Cedric, but
But you're an handsome man too.
I'm very handsome.
Gorgeous.
For my skin type, I'm very handsome.
That's perfect. That's a great You're the guy for Cambridge.
I do feel like there's been a couple of times in my life where I've looked around and like, what am I doing here? Not that I don't deserve to be here. First of all, that just deserve to be something to me is always bullshit. Like, it's like everybody does their thing. To me, Hollywood is always a game. It's always a game. It's always bullshit. It's sometimes fruitful. Do I choose to play the game or not? And that's it. And I choose to play the game because I have more fun than it brings me pain. You know what I mean? I have a lot of fun. I don't do stuff that I don't enjoy doing it unless I absolutely 100% have to. And that comes around rarely. It's only been twice in my life. One day about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I was in the voiceover booth and I'm doing a job and I go, oh my God, I'm a professional. I never even thought about it, like literally. And I've been working for years and years because it doesn't mean that much to me. What means something to me is me getting to go do what brings me joy every day, and that's it, That's what means something to me. And another time I was on stage 2 years ago at this weird thing, and Paul Rudd is up there with me, and like all of these people, and I look around, I was like, what the fuck am I doing on stage next to these people? But it never was, they're gonna find out, I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. Cedric, as good as he is, doesn't really fucking know what he's doing.
Hold on.
He doesn't. I watch him. I watch him. Cedric can drop himself in the middle of a moment and run like hell with it, but he doesn't have it planned. None of us really know what we're doing. We're just doing the thing. So I can't be an imposter going, I'm this great actor, when it's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing. Nobody really knows. You don't know what's going to happen, you know? So, no, I've never felt like I didn't belong. It's like, I'm just going to do it. So
that's really good. Thank you. I have one follow-up question to you guys. If you could go back in time, back to when you first started in this career and say anything to yourself, what would you say?
It's going to be okay. It's going to work out. I would relax and enjoy it.
Yeah, same. It is very worrisome. Like, is this actually going to be something? And being able to live in that moment and just say, just relax, it's going to be okay. Then that way, I think I would have enjoyed the journey more. You know.
Mine is, I used to have this really cool green shirt. I'd be like, don't forget where you put that green shirt, because if I had it now, that'd be great. Huh? I could have worn it today. But I'm with them. Just, yeah, like, it's fine. Like, it does, you might fail sometimes. Like he said, we get an inordinate amount of auditions and stuff coming through. We get very few of them, but it's the ones you get that you make something of. That's what matters. So it's all good. Thank you. What's up? Hey.
I'm Fonny from the partner and sponsorship team here at DreamCon, and the question I have is, if Boondocks were to, you know, we're still happening right now, what kinds of changes would you want for the show, if you want any changes to the show or to the characters at all? Yeah.
I wouldn't. I think that's a problem a lot. You get asked that question of, if the show were to come back, what would you like it to be? I would love it to be what it always was when it was at its best, but I don't know if the industry would let the show be that today. And I say that only because there was no social media at the time in the same way that it was 2003 versus today. And I just don't know if a corporation would allow a show to be like that. I could be wrong, because Chappelle is still doing, like, you have pockets of things where people can say things and do things satirically and survive. I've never seen it with a show like the Boondocks in that way. It's like Family Guy, they do what they do, but they didn't go as far as we went, or they did it with innuendo. So I would love to do it the way it's always been. I think that's the best. I've heard people say and had conversations about you and Riley being older and this and different things. But I love the original thing the way that it was.
Yeah, it lived in the moment. It lived in the current. So let it live in the current of whatever it is, daytime it is. Yeah, I wouldn't go, well, I want Ruckus to be more blah blah. No, he's gonna deal with his environment the way he's gonna deal with his environment, the way he dealt with his environment then. So I'm with Rodney on that.
Yeah, same.
One more thing. I also have an idea for a potential Boondocks episode that they were working on. Three-parter on Kanye.
On what?
A three-part episode on Kanye.
Okay.
Writer Man?
Oh yeah, what about it? There's no place to put it, but it's a great conversation. But yeah, it's right. Well, did Kanye really fall with it? He just moved in with Rock.
All right, guys, we got time about one more question before our next press conference. So I'll let him ask his question, and then we're gonna wrap up. All right.
Thank you guys for being here, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Get out of here.
Sure, this is a pretty simple question. I'm Jay from Hamilton, by the way. We talked a lot about what the most appreciated parts of the Boondocks were. What do you think one of the more underappreciated parts of the Boondocks is?
Underappreciated?
Underappreciated. I mean, I think the character design and the art, shout out to Son Kim, that I think the look of the show, it's It's homage to anime. I think the detail and the beauty of just how it looked, like it's a pretty show. And I think that just the aesthetics of that, I don't know if people give it the credit in the pantheon of other anime and the other things. I think it deserves its own distinction.
As a voice actor, I always worried that, not worried, I always thought, did like people like Rodney who like created the character I do and put those words in my mouth. They let us improv a lot on the show too, but to make sure that people like it's, oh, well, because it's funny when you said that. Yeah, but that was somebody else. Like just to make sure that the writing truly got its due. You know, it's just a playground we got to play in. But I always wanted to make sure that, like, and when we're doing the at the booth and stuff, like I always make sure that people realize that the stuff that they enjoy that came out of my mouth came from this dude's head first. Are you crying?
I am crying. Because this is the last question. And we can get the fuck out of here.
It had to happen.
I think the music. Needs to have more love because that just those beats, the music is so damn black and so much full of soul that it just really just sets the foundation for what that show was. It, you know, with Charlie Brown, that music was so that, and ours is so, you know, it just set the plate for what the show was saying and what it was doing.
Shout out to Big Tank.
Yes.
Is it? Thank you guys so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Beats by Dino.